Welcome back, everyone. This is J-Face Games. If you've been following along, we are creating an RPG system. And the last time we talked about the overall sort of mechanics of the game, sort of like a big overview. And today I wanted to give a little bit more of the dice mechanics. So I've been trying to do some maths. And at this point in the game, this is where I'm at. And I'll give you an idea of what this looks like. The future of this YouTube channel and what we're going to be doing in the next couple of videos is that one of our subscribers, follower members, Shane, who's awesome because he's also very active on the comments, and we've talked a lot about games. He mentioned making an encounter, a mock encounter that people could run. So that's going to be the next couple of videos. Is I'm going to probably do 4 or 5 videos where I talk through. These are the different characters. This is why I built them. This is the monster. This is why I built it. And here's the scenario. And now you just go for it. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But today we're doing dice mechanics. So if we look down here, this page is, if you go to the About section of this YouTube channel, you can find a link to this. Here's some references. So my references for this was I looked at 5e and I tried to say, okay, what were their percent chances of hits when you were using a 5e sort of standard attack, that kind of thing. And then I also looked at the Cypher system. I really love the Cypher system, mainly because I think that their DC ladder is very clever in terms of the terms they use, the words they use, etc. So here was that DC ladder for the Cypher system. And then down here, this was me just trying to figure out, what am I looking for this? What would potentially be untrained and poor, etc. I'm not sold on all of that, the terminology, etc., but the idea was somewhat sound. So what I've come up with at this point in time is that you have this standard array, you have a challenging level array, or like the next level up, sort of, it's a challenging array, and then you have this epic level array. My thought is, if you think about tiers of play, like in 4th edition D&D, how you had the heroic, the paragon, and the epic, that this would be similar to that, right? That you have these different tiers that you might reach in levels, and that once you get to another tier, there's a different sort of standard set. You could also maybe think of this in terms of the monsters, like, maybe some monsters that fall into the standard monster category versus challenging versus epic. But I think I liked equating it to that sort of heroic, paragon, and epic levels for 4th E. That's what it kind of hits my brain. So then when you look down here, if these were the numbers and ranges sort of chosen, right? Then you come down here and you look, okay, what would happen if I had a D3, as my item or my stat, a D4, a D6, and then I did a D8 plus 1. I figured that a D8 plus 1 was going to be sort of like the non-min-maxed best stat for a character, right? Like if I am a defender mainly, I'm probably going to get my defender dice up to a D8. I'm probably going to get a plus 1 from somewhere, right? And so I was trying to base it off of that being your, typical best stat for a player base, right? And then down here you have someone who's really tuned up, really min-maxed one of their individual stats, and then finally someone who's got, legendaries through the roof. So then the breakdown underneath these is, say this is your standard sort of like when you've done what you need to do for your max stat, you're at a D8 plus 1 roughly. So now this standard array, this would be like that heroic level, right? We're just talking about normal heroic level, and this is showing you what would I need to roll to get one of these DCs, which we talked about up here, right? This is the DC for standard array, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus. What would I need to do to roll that if I was putting no effort into this attack? What would I need to roll? What would my percentage to succeed in that if I put plus 3 effort and then plus 5 effort, right? I don't know if plus 3 and plus 5 effort are going to be feasible during this standard level. I just wanted to put it in there because I'm curious, right? And we'll find out, And then challenging, here are your challenging ones once again, and then here are your epic ones, right? So this is my thought at the moment for building out these DCs. There's a lot that I like about this. There's a lot that's a little finicky, right? That I'm not 100% sold on. But the cool thing is that when it comes to the monster development, you don't have to, like, for instance, when a monster's created, maybe that monster's, you know, standard for attack, but its defense is actually incredibly challenging, right? And so now you've got a scenario where, yes, that monster, in order to defend against that monster, you're pretty good at defending, right? If this is defense. But to attack him, he's pretty challenging, so now there's a 25% chance of hitting. So now I've got to actually hit the monster, maybe I got to apply a little effort. Or I could apply a lot of effort and make it almost, you know, a given that it's going to happen. So I like where this is going overall, because I like the underlying mechanics still. The DCs are a little finicky, but we'll tune them up. I like the idea that the monsters, those numbers are going to be all over the place. You know, in terms of, like, once again, it might be really easy, simple to hit a monster, but it might be, you know, intimidating to actually bloody it, right? And then it might even be, the death number might be even higher than that, right? And so that just shows that that could be like a brute, you know, some sort of big ogre who, he's got a cache of hit points. I can hit him and I can wear him down, but if I want to actually try and, like, make a gorging attack that's going to actually take half his hit points, well, now I've got to either apply some effort or get some help from some friends, etc. So this is where we're at the moment. I'd love to hear some thoughts from other individuals. I think that Shane's right that we probably need a encounter so that people can really feel it, right? And then you get the real vibe. So that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button, and the pieces of that encounter are going to be coming out soon. See you guys.